Hi, this is Paul the Pipe Guy. Yeah, live from the outskirts of Rochester, New York, the United States of America. And today is Sunday, the 10th of March, 2024, for our little Sunday smoke together. What did I pick out? I picked out two of the largest Canadians I have. This particular one here is a Barentini, and this one's pretty old. And I love my Canadian style pipes. I have several of them. And in that one, we're going to put some Officers Club by East India Trading Company from 7 of 2021. I love this stuff. The second bowl that we have, oh, by the way, this one is 8.5 inches long. And this one is 8 inches long. And this one is the Lumberman. Yeah. Like I said, I love my Canadian style pipes. I certainly do. And in that one, we're going to load it up with some East India Trading Company Royal Challenge. Yeah. In fact, I wonder if there's tobacco in this tin. Nah, it couldn't be. Just felt a little heavier. Nah, my imagination. All right, so we're going to load them up and we'll be right back and have a little smoke together. Oh yeah, so we're back. Let's take my longest Canadian, which is fully loaded with some wonderful Officers Club by East India Trading Company. Oh yeah, I love this stuff. Rum and vanilla. And these Canadian pipes, they just smoke so good. Yeah. Yeah, by that time that smoke gets all the way down through that briar, it just cools down. Yeah, so we had our clocks jump forward for daylight savings time, which I never understood. I think it's a stupid idea. Oh, yeah. Ah. 8 more years and I get to retire. Probably start up like a little eBay business. I know antiques very well. And upstate New York is filthy rich with antiques, like no other place in the country. And you can find those things, smaller shippable antiques or collectibles, and then you sell them on eBay. My wife and I, we had an eBay business. This is going back 20 years ago, maybe. And what we were doing is there's a clothing outlet around here. Well, there used to be. I don't know if they're there anymore. But we were buying Hugo Boss golf shirts, which are made in Italy. It's, basically a button-down short sleeve shirt. We'd go there a couple times a month. Pick out some nice shirts. And then we'd throw them on eBay. Back then, eBay was way, way different, So what I would do is the time that you listed the product was the time that it went on sale. I don't think there was any way that you could have a timed auction when you listed it. So we'd list them for 7 days. I'd spend about 3 hours. And back then I would fold the shirts up nice and then put them on a scanner, scan the shirt in, so it showed the collar and the logo and the basic print of the shirt. I'd get everything scanned in, and at 11 o'clock at night, I'd list them for a week. So on a Sunday, I was probably spending about 3 hours. Well, the kids were little then. And so they used to get excited. We'd let them stay up. I might have timed the auctions for 10 o'clock. I can't remember. No, it was 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock, because I wanted Eastern Standard Time and Western Standard Time. I wanted it to be a Sunday, like after dinner. And we'd sit there and watch the bidding and watch the bidding. And it's funny, you'd get two rich guys that would fall in love with one of these golf shirts. Two rich guys, and they'd be slugging it out. I mean, a $50 shirt. I mean, I remember one of them sold for $180. And the whole family sitting around the computer, yeah! So we were making probably about $300 a week for not much work. It was fun. The whole family was involved. I remember that. Then my wife would package them up, and out the door we'd ship them right out. U.S. priority mail. So, that's something I could do in my retirement. I wouldn't want to work 40 or 50 hours a week. And I don't even know if I want to stay in this New York state. We'll have to see what happens with the state between now and 8 years from now. Actually, I'm counting it down. I'll be 67 in 7.75 years. Could work an extra, I don't know, 3 years and get an extra $500-600 a month, but I don't know, we'll see. This weekend was relaxing. Didn't leave the house. And some weekends I like that. I took a nap this afternoon for a couple hours. Well, this old girl is starting to heat up just a little more than I want, so I'm going to set her down and let her rest. We're going to get our second Canadian right in. We'll be back in a nanosecond. Alrighty, so we're back. Yeah, and we have our second Canadian, my second largest one, loaded with some Royal Challenge from East India Trading Company. I love this East India Trading Company stuff. They make great blends. I mean, you know, this one has, Officers Club has, jeez, it's got Virginia's Burley's Black Cavendish with rum, gentle spices, and creamy vanilla. Just great. And then this one here has red and golden Virginias with smooth Black Cavendish and rum. That's is enhanced with sweet spices. Yeah. So let's start that one on fire. As you know, I like starting stuff on fire. If you saw my video on the let's blow something up. If you haven't seen the video on my page saying let's blow something up, you should really go check it out. It's interesting. We take a gallon jug of gasoline and then put 2 fire starters on either side of it, carefully not to blow ourselves up, and then I shoot it with a 12 gauge shotgun. It was pretty cool. Nice big orange and black fireball. Somebody said, you got to use tannerite. I was like, it's only 120 feet back there to the campfire pit. And if I blew the windows out of the entire back house, even though my landlord is a manager for a window company, he probably would not be impressed. Tannerite's cool if you got like 5 or 10 acres. Oh, man. I'm almost thinking I like this Royal Challenge better than the Officers Club. Yeah, so in my retirement, I'd like to go to a state that's firearm friendly. Get myself about 10 or 20 acres. Build just a simple little 800 square foot house, maybe. I don't need much. I'd basically sell everything. You know, sell my guitars and stuff. I'd keep 1 electric guitar, 1 or 2 amplifiers, and maybe 1 or 2 acoustic guitars. Maybe I don't know. I don't know if I could sell them. I don't know. And it would definitely, I'd kind of like to have 3 seasons, you know, like spring, summer, and fall. All right, that would be cool. You know, fall where it gets maybe down to around 30 degrees, 40 degrees. Of course, I'd have to have a wood-burning stove. Got a good friend of mine, he lives way down south. I talk to him 2-3 times a week, and he's into pipes and tobacco and all that stuff. And he's retired. Must be nice. He's young and retired. And he'll text me and be like, it's 80 degrees down here in full sun, 75% humidity. I'm like, fuck you. It's 35 here and snowing. He says, well, that snow looks pretty good from down here. Yeah. I love my Canadian style pipes. I think, though, upon retiring, or even getting close to retirement, I'm going to do a serious inventory reduction of my pipes because a lot of my pipes are worth a fair amount. And I started buying these pipes, these vintage estate pipes, and it was all about the condition for me. I mean, the condition had to be really, really good. And when I first started buying them online, I made a lot of mistakes. I'd see the first picture and be like, oh, I love that. Start bidding on it or whatever. And then not take my time, look at all the pictures, read the full description. And I was drinking a lot more then. So that didn't help either because you don't make good decisions when you're intoxicated buying shit online. There's been about 5 pipe or tobacco related things that I was like that close to buying within the last week. It's like, nah, you don't need that. The one I did buy, and that was the walnut maple pipe tobacco by Sutliff. So I spent $20. But I was ready to fork out $100 for the 2022 single barrel bourbon Bengal slices. And I was like, wait a minute. You got 4 tins and a partial jar. Why would you want to just take $100 out of your pocket and blow it away, and you're never going to smoke all that? So I am becoming more restrained and more conservative in my spending. Even though it was in my budget, it was. Well, we're going to take another little break for a nanosecond. We'll be right back. All right, so we're back. Got our Officers Club again in my 8.5-inch Canadian pipe. So I've been watching these cop things on YouTube where some little smartass, he'll know a little thing about the law, goes into a public place or whatever, and starts causing a little trouble. Police come. Then he's got to be a smartass, disrespectful to the police, and then gets himself arrested. Then takes the city to court wins some lawsuit and some money. The officer gets fired. I mean, these guys, these men and women, there's some police officers that they should retire. Let's put it that way. In my opinion, I'm not a police officer, but I can empathize with them. I have empathy for them. Every day they go to work and get their balls busted all day long, their whole shift. And, you get some little smart ass that knows one little piece of the law. The laws are constantly changing. They change so fast that the police can't, law enforcement can't keep up with them. And who's your marshal? He'll identify with that. And, after going through 20 years of that, you tend to get a little edgy and might lose your temper or whatever. And like you said, there's some police officers that rightfully should not be in law enforcement anymore, whether they should realize it and, hey, my fuse is only that long now. I'm burned out. I should retire. I qualify. But these little punks, go out with these their cell phones, and they relish in pushing these cops and pushing them and pushing them and pushing them till they lose their temper. And then they do something that is not department approved. A lot of these guys lose their jobs, their pensions, everything. So, I can kind of see it from both sides. Law enforcement should never overstep its bounds. But at the same time, we shouldn't have little punks out there with cell phones taunting our officers who are already stressed out. These kids are out there just doing it for a point, and then they post it on YouTube. They taunt these officers till they get pissed off and make a mistake. In some cases that I noticed, though, the officer would show up right away with an attitude. And, some of the people were like real laid back and cool. And these guys, they call themselves not fact checkers, but I can't remember what they call themselves. I don't know, legal auditors or whatever they call themselves. But I have seen on some of these videos where guy's doing nothing wrong and the cop shows up and he's being a dick. And he doesn't know the law, and he's got a fuse about that long, and all of a sudden he's ripping some innocent guy out of a car, shoving his face into the pavement and arresting him. They had one officer that was doing that. A female officer came up and said, "Hey man, you got to chill out." She went to grab him and he turned around, and one of his fellow officers, a female, he grabs her by the throat and starts choking her out. Yeah, that guy got fired, as he should have. There's no reason to go out and taunt the police. One guy drives down Main Street, throws his arm out and gives a cop the middle finger, and the cop gets pissed, pulls the guy over. Guy's being a smart ass. Yeah, that guy has a right to do that. That doesn't make it right. Guy throwing a police officer, the middle finger, that's disrespectful to our law enforcement, and unfortunately, that's what this country has come down to. I would not want to be a police officer. I actually went and took a test when I turned 21. I wanted to be a Rochester police officer. I was in good physical shape. My eyesight was perfect. I had weapon skills. And I got a 95 on the test. I didn't get a call. Reason is back then they had affirmative action, and basically what that was, if you were a minority, which actually guys like me with blonde hair and blue eyes are a minority now, but back then black people and Hispanics, which I love them, I love those people, but they got spotted 10 points. So if I scored a 95, they scored a 95, they really scored 105. And that wasn't fair either. I'm glad it didn't work out that way for me, because after 20 years I probably would have lost my temper and lost my job, because I don't have time for bullshit. I'd have been better in the military, where you get to go in and kick ass. Well, not really, because even then, the politicians tie one hand behind your back, just like in Vietnam. Our boys went over there. We lost over 50,000 of them, and we've lost millions due to Agent Orange and psychological problems, drug problems, alcohol problems, suicides. When they came back and they were treated like pieces of shit and spit on, when they thought that they were doing the right thing that their fathers did in World War II, I'm going to tell you something. Them World War II boys came home. They had ticket tape parades. They'd drive down New York City or whatever, and confetti and everything flying out of the buildings. They got a hero's welcome home. Our boys from Vietnam, they got spit on, called baby killers. Many of them would just take their uniforms off. But back then in the 60s, people had longer hair, so they knew who, the military was, coming back. The guys coming back had short hair. So they knew. I remember it. Wow, we're going on, almost 29 minutes. So we're going to end our Sunday smoke together. Hope you all have a great week. We may or may not have a Monday smoke together. I don't know. We'll have to see. Channel was up to 1,051 subscribers, and somehow somebody might not have liked something I said. And now we're down to 1,050. But that's okay. It's not a competition for subscribers. All right, peace out. Love y'all. Thanks for subscribing and watching. And happy pipe smoking, pipe smokers. God bless you all. Over and out.